Tonight on our Great American panel, almost feel like you sit in Beckel's seat and you're causing trouble before we even start. Well, you're sitting in his chair. I just want you to know. All right, former governor of the great state of Maryland, author of the book, Turn This Car Around. Robert Ehrlich is with us. She, a columnist, Fox News political analyst. Kirsten Powers is here. She is the author of the bestseller Blacklash. Fox News contributor Deneen Borelli is with us. All right, let's listen to my buddy, your favorite radio host besides me, the great one, Mark Levin, on the issue.
Listen to him every day.
Of, well, how tax hikes are triggering a mass exodus from your state of Maryland.
Oh, boy.
Let me ask you something, jerk. How many jobs have you created in Maryland? How many people have you chased out of Maryland? You big dummy. That guy, in-state tuition for illegals he's pushing. Oh, this guy's right down the line leftist. You people in Maryland, you happy with this? With this jerk? Mitt Romney bets against America. Mitt Romney created more jobs, and his folks did at Bain Capital, than this guy could ever dream of.
They're leaving. Why are they leaving?
Taxes.
And for everything Mark was saying.
It's what people in Maryland generally want. That's how they vote. I just don't want the country to follow suit. That's the bottom line.
Okay, so I assume most of these people supported the Iraq war and the Afghanistan war, which cost us about $1 trillion, but they don't want to pay taxes to pay off the massive debt that we have. I mean, at some point, people are going to have to step up to the plate and help pay down this debt.
We're not talking about wealthy people, by the way. This is Maryland's middle class. Southern Pennsylvania.
Well,
Maryland tax policy is driving
rich people are leaving
development.
The state.
This is Maryland. That's Florida.
Well,
West Virginia, Delaware, Southern Pennsylvania. It's taxes. Maryland tax policy is driving development in Southern Pennsylvania.
New Jersey. New York lost 3.4 million.
Same thing. This is not unique to Maryland. There's a certain scream factor here. You can only go after wealth so often, and then people go.
What's the tax rate?
They can.
Oh, wait a minute. If I left New York,
on somebody who makes $40,000 a year.
If I moved down to Florida, where the weather's nicer, I pay 15% less the first day I arrive.
I mean, if someone making $40,000 a year is paying 50% in taxes, that's crazy. I mean, but they should be raising the taxes on the very wealthy, and people making over $1 million.
No, millionaires are already getting squeezed.
Oh,
yes, it's class
millionaires.
Millionaires are already getting squeezed. So
can we stop the job creators?
That's absolutely correct.
But that's not a tax policy.
But that's why they're fleeing these states that have high taxes. If you look at Texas, for example, they don't have a state tax. And so they're great for businesses and jobs. And so millionaires are being squeezed. On the flip side, when they're leaving these states, you're left with people who are paying lower taxes because they're making less money.
That's not tax. Going the rich and chopping the rich up. It's all great.
I mean, what planet are we on here?
That's not tax policy.
Millionaires are being squeezed. I mean, that's ridiculous.
I think here's the deal. When the wealth leaves, though, you can't tax them anymore.
Right.
That's the problem.
Look, if they would be realistic and look at the fact that we have an out-of-control debt in the states, nationally, and pay high taxes for a couple of years and help pay this down. Like, they're going to run to another country, to another state.
Obama gave us.
Go on another vacation?
Obama gave us $5 trillion in new debt. His policies. He got everything he wanted passed the first 2 years.
George Bush gave us plenty of debt,
Excuse me. Bush gave us 4 in 8 years. Obama's given us over 5 in 3.5 years.
So we have about the same amount of debt between the two of them that we need to pay off.
But there were 8 years in 3.5 years.
It's done. So the point is we need to pay it down. That's not an excuse for rich people to avoid paying taxes.
What you're missing is
it's not a pity party. It's not a pity party for millionaires.
Okay, that's what it is.
But once the wealth leaves, it's mobile.
But here's what I'm trying to say to you. What I'm trying to say to you is, when are Americans going to come together and say, we've got to pay this down? There are not enough cuts.
There are not enough cuts that we can do. There are more people who are paying taxes.
But can I just say, my background in the construction industry, I was hired by wealthy people. My background in the service industry, bartender, cook, it might surprise you, Powers, I was a dishwasher, a cook, a busboy, a bartender for years. And you know what? The people that had money spent money in the restaurant. I had a job because of them. There's this mentality on the left that if we take more and take more, what happens is people are smart that have money. and they're moving to states that are lower taxed.
But that's what I'm trying to address.
And this is the problem.
But that's what I'm trying to address. I am not like those people that you're talking about. I actually do not have a problem with wealthy people. I think it's great.
You want more of their money?
No, what I want is our debt to be paid down. I don't do it with some joy.
So do it through economic growth. Do it through.
I agree we need to do economic growth also. But what I'm saying is that if people would just say, we just for a couple years have to pay higher tax rates and just try to get our debt paid off.
You say that, but government is borrowing 40 cents of every dollar.
Also, we have almost 50% of Americans not paying federal income taxes.
They don't make any money.
And so, no, everyone should have skin in the game. They should broaden the base, and everyone should be paying taxes.
That's insane. I'm sorry.
Based on what
somebody who makes $20,000 a year or $30,000 a year with children should not be paying the same rate as somebody who makes $1 million.
She didn't say the same rate.
That's not what I said.
That's not what she said.
Government lacks credibility. Those taxes never come down, and everybody knows it. That's the problem. You know,
okay, but even if it's not the same rate, why do you want to take money from somebody who has little kids with hardly any money?
We don't want to take that.
Nobody said that. The child card, dirty air, and dirty water.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we got to take a break. We'll come back.